rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Headlines spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well this morning. Those that are south of the Georgia border, feel for you. We're gonna be getting that weather pretty soon. So take care, take shelter, get the hell out of the rain. Be safe out there. Really, seriously, that's some nasty weather coming in. So it's never a good thing. So I want all of you folks to be safe out there and not have anything bad happen to you. Good morning, Cynthia. Good to see you. Tracy Spencer, Sharon Kovac. How you doing? King Paco. Good morning. Anita Smith. See you here. Tracy Spencer. Hoorah. Hello. It is stress. No stress here. We keep it stress-free. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Drop the hearts. There you go. Way you do it. Have a wonderful morning, or evening, depends on what part of the world you're in. If you're in Ohio, I guess have a wonderful evening. But it looks like this is one of the things that'll probably be really quiet on the on the side of AP, because usually if you have something like this come showing up, you would think that this would be one of their top stories. No. I actually had to go search for this story. I had to go search. I was like, what? New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted, sources say. What happened? New York Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a grand jury on federal criminal charges. According to two people familiar with the matter. Only two. Nobody else. Yes, good night. That's what I meant. Ohio. I mean, Australia. We know that you guys are in a biodome, damn it. Good to see you, Natalie Baker. Yeah, I laughed at this last night. Yes. What was it? It was a extraordinary culmination to weeks of searches, subpoenas, and resignations of top officials that have thrust the city's government into crisis. Well, the indictment details the charges against Adam, a Democrat. Doesn't matter whether he's Democrat or Republican, was expected to be unsealed Thursday, according to the people who spoke with the AP on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the matter publicly. Well, U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan declined to comment, and in a speech recorded in his official residence, Adams said he would remain in office, describing any charges that he may face entirely false. These are based on lies. Lies, I tell you. I always knew that if I stood my ground for you all, that I would be a target, and a target I became. God. You need to get a new speechwriter. I will fight these injustices with every ounce of my strength and my spirit. It was not immediately clear. Really, AP. It's not immediately clear what Adams is accused of breaking or when he might have to appear in court. Really? Because I have it on good authority. They know exactly what charges he may face. Here, let me show you. Mayor Eric, why the hell are they giving me these ads? Don't know. All right, Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted. Historic indictment, first ever for a city mayor, is expected to be unsealed. It was reported by the New York Times. He will surrender to authorities early next week. Details about the exact accusations may not be clear, but believed to be connected with allegations the Turkish government illegally funneling money into his mayoral campaign in exchange for approval of Turkish consulate in Manhattan, according to sources. Sources told the city that the mayor is facing charges of acting as an unregistered foreign agent after accepting donation from foreign entities. That's a little odd that AP can't even pull that up. The fight has continued as your mayor, despite our pleas, the federal government did nothing as its broken immigration policies overloaded our shelter system with no relief. But you're a sanctuary city. Son, you don't like this, but this is your city telling people, come to us. Adams' top campaign fundraiser, Brianna Suggs, and his director of Asian Affairs, Winnie Greco, are expected to be named in the indictment also. At least 3 others are also expected to be charged. However, the Post could not immediately confirm their identities. Following news of the indictment, cops set up barriers outside Gracie Mansion, mayor's home, and forced reporters back from the house. At about 11:50 p.m., Adams' ex-chief of staff, Frank Carone, emerged from the property. When asked by reporters if Adams was distracted by the legal trouble, Carone replied, "Not at all." About half an hour later, 3 black SUVs were seen leaving the mansion with their emergency lights flashing. It's uncertain how the indictment is related to a sweeping set of September 4 raids that targeted several high-profile Adams administration officials, which sent City Hall into weeks-long tailspin as news reports emerged of investigations focused on alleged corruption by the mayor's inner circle. But Wednesday morning, word had spread that a senior City Hall official soon would be indicted, sending the staff into a panic throughout the day. Indictment unveiled will come after federal prosecutors recently demanded City Hall cough up all the communications between the Adams administration, Turkey, and 5 other foreign countries amid the long-running probe. Wow. Adams' 2021 campaign had previously been served with subpoenas for information on its campaign donations, specifically for those that had ties to Turkey. Sprawling record of requests that came in a July batch of subpoenas seeking details on all interactions between admin officials in Israel, China, Qatar, South Korea, Uzbekistan, sources added. Adams City Hall and his election committee were also hit with grand jury subpoenas that same month, with the feds obtaining chat messages, documents, and other communications and materials. Adams has been a vocal critic on the Biden administration's soft immigration policies, as the Big Apple was flooded with more than 250,000 illegals since 2022. accusing the federal government of leaving New York to fend for herself. Oh, isn't that just tough pity? Yeah. The national government has turned its back on New York City, he said in early 2023. He also said the White House needs to appoint a person who would be dedicated to a decompression strategy at the border. The illegal crisis is expected to cost the city an upwards of $12 billion by 2026, and Adams has repeatedly pleaded for Washington to provide more funds to come. Yeah. I'm lost. I'm confused on this topic. And why we still, almost 20 months later, we're still talking about this issue that has inundated the city. Well, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York has remained tight-lipped about his probe. That just sounds dirty. The U.S. Attorney's Office, was Camel Toe there? I'm just wondering. Good to see you, TST, Natalie Baker. The raid, which sought evidence on a straw donor kickbacks by the Turkish government and the Williams-based construction company KSK Construction Group into Adams' mayoral campaign, prompted his another to scurry back to a much-publicized White House meeting on the illegal crisis. The Fed subsequently raided the homes of City Hall staff Rana Abravza and Kenal Alkol, a former Turkish Airlines executive who worked on Adams' transition team. A week later, Adams had his own phones and iPads seized by FBI agents on the streets of Manhattan. Meanwhile, another aide, Winnie Greco, had her Bronx home raided by FBI agents in February, though it wasn't clear at the time whether it was tied to the Turkey probe. I love that. Was it tied to the Turkey probe? No, it was the chicken wing. Meanwhile, another aide, his Nazir has long denied any wrongdoing. It takes a great deal of discipline. Do not say something when you know you've done nothing wrong, Adams said in August when asked about this investigation. The indictment marks the first time in New York City a mayor has faced charges in 170 years, according to historic research done by the city. All recent mayors, from Dave Dinkins to Bill de Blasio, have faced some type of corruption investigation, you think. But all those probes ended with, at worst, lower-level aides being slapped with charges. That makes you just want to be an aide working in the mayor's office. Bombshell indictment will come amid a spat of other federal investigations targeting City Hall and Big Apple officials when it came to light in a stunning series of raids of their top lieutenants, closest political allies, and most trusted aides of late. Federal prosecutors in Manhattan are being many of the probes, those Turkey probes, man, they really hurt. Like mayoral campaign investigation have remained tight-lipped. Like I said, toes around about the aims, potential charges, and how the probes might intertwine with each other. So not only are they sucking on the probes, but they're poking each other's eyes out with them. No one to date has been charged or accused with wrongdoing in the other investigations. But what does the AP have to say about it? Oh, AP, they really don't want to talk about it. They're just like, yeah, because the charges was sealed. It was unknown what they were dealing with. And then, of course, they just rehash the same stuff that I talked about. Yeah. They don't know anything about what's going on. Look at how many people. They're just all these people are being indicted. So beautiful. Adams, who is expecting a tough primary election next year, faced additional calls to resign once the indictment became public last night. Brad Lander, the city's comptroller, said the indictment marked a sad day for New Yorkers. No, it's a sad day for this guy. Because, well, corruption is as corruption does, as corruption will be. And that is where you're at with that. Speaking of corruption, we have this story. Wow. Why is the little man showing up again? You know, he just needs to grow a little mustache and become an artist, because that's about what he's acting like. They are just sucking up to him. Oh my God. How you doing? Good to see you, Tracy Spencer Elkin. It is wonderful, wonderful morning. JW, how you doing? Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So the little man is showing back up over and wanting to talk to Joe. Say, Joe, give me more money. Can I have permission to fire rockets at Russia? Well, we'll just call him Little Z. How's that? We'll just call him Little Z. Ukrainian President Little Z is visiting to Washington on Thursday. Again? Wasn't he just here like last month? Or was it the month before? Where they all but like sucked his wing off of his legs and just sucked up to this guy. Why? No, because Russia bad. No, it's because he's bringing money for them to have a war with. He spends more time here than he does anywhere else. He spends more time on begging money from countries, and they suck up to him, and they won't stop sucking up to him. We're talking billions of dollars that it's going to cost the United States. Yet nobody's worried about food, being shortages or fuel shortages or anything like that. No, not worried about that a bit. On Thursday, as U.S. support for his country's fight against Russia faced a partisan reckoning in this year's presidential election. No, there was no partisanship to it. Think about this. What did Trump say he wanted to do? He wanted this to end. Then on day one, that's what he's working on, making this stop. Pulling support from this country that we're spending billions of dollars on, while we have people in our own country that can't even find a damn job. You're complaining about homelessness, yet you're spending billions of dollars arming country to do your bidding and have a war with Russia. So dangerous. Well, Camel Toe has pledged to continue sending military assistance to Ukraine if she's elected. She'll have her own meeting with Little Z after the Ukrainian leader sits down on Joe Biden's lap like a little puppet. However, Little Z's tumultuous relationship with former President Trump, the Republican nominee, continued to deteriorate this week. Well, instead of meeting with Little Z, Trump has criticized him, probably for being a little man. As for U.S. support for Ukraine, Trump complained that we continue to give billions of dollars to a man who refuses to make a deal to end the war. Wow. Amazing. And there it is. I think he lives in the Oval Office. Nobody else is over there. That's about true. Come on, what you doing, brother? Why am I still up? I was trapped in Expert's Discord, much like his basement, forever. I finally chewed through the leather straps, but what am I doing in my life? Oh, yeah, it talks about the first thing that comes up, which probably takes a while to get there. But hey, Little Z doesn't mind. Just saying. The most politically treacherous landscape that Little Z has encountered in Washington since the war with Russia began nearly 3 years ago. Really odd how it happened right in the middle of another presidency. The Ukraine officials are anxious to maintain good relations with whoever becomes the next president of the United States. Really? I wonder why. I wonder why you're anxious to become buddy-buddy with the United States. Well, because that right there, it tells you how powerful this country is still. But the efforts risk slipping into the political blender of the election, polarizing the discussion around a war that does not need to be going on. The latest round of snipping started on Sunday when the New Yorker published an interview with Little Z in which he criticized J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate, as too radical for suggesting that Ukraine needs to give up some territory to end the war. And what territory would that be? Wow, the one that they just don't want to talk about. That was already the people that were living there spoke more Russian than they did Ukrainian. They felt separate and they had lots of issues. And this goes back decades, not just a short period of time. This goes back quite some time. But oh no. This is not. No, this is because Russia attacked the Ukraine. No, not has nothing to do with the white supremacists. They showed up in there and said, "No, you cannot have this part of the country." No, it wasn't that at all. No. That's not what it was at all. Little Z also dismissed Trump's boast that he could quickly negotiate a solution. Yeah. My feeling is that Trump does not know how to stop the war, even if he might think he knows how. On the same day, Little Z toured Pennsylvania factory producing ammunition. Why would Little Z, president of another country, be going to a munitions factory? He was joined by Josh Shapiro. Oh, really? A top surrogate for Harris, and Republicans criticized the visit as a political stunt in a political battleground state. Well, yeah, you think? House Speaker Mike Johnson demanded that Little Z fire the Ukrainian ambassador to the U.S., alleging that the tour was designed to help the Democrats and is clearly election interference. Johnson, a Louisiana Republican, won't meet with Zelenskyy on Thursday when he makes the rounds on Capitol Hill before heading to the White House. Well, why would he? Why would he have to meet with Little Z? See, that right there would be the job of ambassador. There's no point in our state representatives to meet with these people. They are under no obligation. However, Little Z is expected to talk with some House members, including the Republican chairs of several committees. Oh, really? Is this going to be an open meeting? Are they allowed to question him about his horrendous take on all of this? Are they allowed to breathe life into the subpoenas that they could issue, the things that they could say to him? Are they allowed to say that for the criminality of all the things that he's doing? No. You have to remember that back in the 40s, that there was a certain really well-known newspaper, and they don't like talking about it, and a really well-known magazine, which they definitely don't like talking about this, that supported the little man with the funny mustache, the German autist. Yeah, they don't like talking about that. How much support that New York was showing for the man with the little mustache. Oh no, they don't talk about that. Why? Because it turned out that although he was doing things for his country and had all the appearance of doing something really great for his country, on the outside, that's what it appeared. But once you dug a little bit deeper and you started finding out what he was all about, you're like, oh, that's not good. Wait until they start digging into Little Z and they start finding out, oh, yeah, that's really not good what he's doing. Becomes very interesting how fast they'll backtrack. They'll be backing up faster. They'll be backing up faster than they did with all of the Koof stuff. Yeah. Wait until we get into that. Zelensky's trip to Washington coincides with the annual meeting of the UN General Assembly in New York, where the Ukraine leader spoke on Wednesday last week. Trump said he would probably meet with Little Z while he was in the U.S., but a senior campaign official said there was never a meeting on the books. The official who requested anonymity to discuss private conversations said Trump had told Little Z back in July that it would probably be better not to sit down together until after the election. A Little ZA did not respond to questions about the potential meeting. Trump was impeached during his first term over asking Zelenskyy for help investigating Biden. But a candidate for the Democratic presidential nomination at the time when the Ukraine leader was seeking support from Washington. Now there are fears that Trump would cut off or add strings to U.S. military assistance if he returned to the White House. Trump also spoke admiringly about the Russian Vladimir Putin this week after he praised Russia's record of winning wars. Well, except for the Cold War. Obviously, he didn't win. And this is a good example of not studying or learning from history. The U.S. initially supported the crazy corporal. Yes, they did. Oh, yes, they did. It was exactly that. Little Z can expect a far different tone from Harris. Yeah, all she has to do is just, open her mouth. That's a totally different tone. It's more like a screeching banshee that, just wants you to drive ice picks into your ear so deep that you can touch them on the other side. She met with him in Munich just days before Russia invaded. During her debates with Trump earlier this month, Harris expressed pride in U.S. support for Ukraine's righteous defense. Yeah. Really, really weird, huh? Really weird that it shows up. It just bites your ass. Just bites you in the ass every damn time. All of their bullshit lies. All of their bullshit lies is just coming back and getting them. Oh, that's not what they say. Look what they say here. It's time to roll up sleeves for a new coof shot. Oh, right there. Look at that. That means it's just about time for everybody to get up to date on the flu and coof shots. And a lot of older adults also need protection from another risky winter virus, RSV. Oh. So what is in this exactly COVID shot that you want to give me in this thing for the RSV? What is this thing you want to jab into my arm? I have a curious question. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about, which is usually the case. I'm wondering if maybe this isn't the plan. All the boomers out there, we're talking about the baby boomers, not boomers like me that just, can't, they usually hit the mute button and then forget about it for like at least half an hour. So tell me this, all of the boomers out there, don't you think that it's a possible medical health crisis that you have? How many boomers? I mean, because they were the generation that came after the greatest generation that came back, and we've got like a massive population boom. And what is a good way to get rid of a massive population boom other than telling them that they need to take something that's going to help them to live longer? What if it doesn't? Just a curious question. I mean, my wife used to every morning take these really expensive vitamins. Really, used to. You know why she stopped? After she found out that those really expensive vitamins that she's taking only a small percentage was her body even absorbing. And all she would have to do is just change the diet that she was on, which was not a healthy one. Same way as me. Not eating healthy, putting on some pounds. You just eat better food. And amazing how your body will absorb it naturally. You don't need all the extra supplements. Weird here, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Why are we taking GLP-1 drugs? Talking GLP, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know anything. I'm just wondering. It's a question. I mean, think about it. These are the people that they're reaching out to with this. A lot of older adults need protection against another risky winter virus, RSV. Why? Why would you need? Okay. Are you telling me that viruses and germs and stuff have gotten more deadly in the past, 50 years? 50 plus years in my case. Are you telling me that in the past, that smallpox, the vaccination that I got as a baby, was all but eradicated, and then all of a sudden it comes back? What happened? I mean, just because they were giving my ancestors blankets, I mean, come on. They found that was debunked. that was not the whole thing. But here's the curious question. Because they're really pushing for this again this year. Never had flu. Doctor insisted I get the shot. Ended up in the hospital, almost dead from the flu. Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? Morning, peeps. Good to see you. Scott McGinnis. I hadn't seen you in forever. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Rosalind, too. Tracy Spencer. It is, I'm just curious. I mean, because I'm no medical professional. Like I said, I'm a complete moron. An artard running around with a soft helmet. By the way, I did put a new emoji in there. You do have your pink safety helmet. Just so you know, there is one there. I also have my Velcro shoes in there too. Ooh, got it. Losing weight is probably the best idea. My mother did get the COVID real bad. I mean, she's old and has all the risk factors, but she dropped 50 pounds, saved her life. Exactly. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, Tracy. Don't call them boosters. Oh, no, don't call them boosters because, last time we called them boosters, it showed that, this vaccine is not really doing what it's supposed to do. The Kufin influenza are escape artists that constantly mutate. Well, if they're constantly mutating, then you haven't found a vaccination, because a vaccination would eliminate it permanently and it would go away. Then all you're doing is reiterating the fact that maybe you should have spent more time testing this. Just saying. Don't know. I don't know anything. I'm an idiot. Right now is the best time to get all the recommended fall vaccinations, said Dr. Mandy Cohen, director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Yeah, I remember her. Yeah. Yeah, if you look into Dr. Mandy Cohen and some of the shit that she's been accused of, find out how she got into position that she's in. Oh boy. Let's put it this way. Have you ever seen an intern work their way to the top? Oh yeah, we have one running for president right now. She is appointed for her Kufit shot also. It is the most single effective thing you can do to protect your body, yourself, your family, your communities. Don't you get your shot, my precious? Take it. While they're not perfect, then they're not a vaccination. Vaccination offers strong protection against a bad case of flu or a cough or dying from it. Wait, didn't they say this? Didn't they say this like 4 years ago? 3 years ago, some crap like that. Didn't they tell you that you had to wear 2 masks anywhere that you went, that you had to separate 6 feet apart? Well, where did this magic number of 6 feet come from? Sounds like a good number. I mean, sounds like a good thing. But guess what? This just gives them a chance to lock you down again. It may not prevent every infection, but those infections are going to be less severe. They said this again last time. Said CDC's Dr. Dmitry Dasasakalakakakakis. I would rather have my grandmother, my great-grandmother have to sniffle than have to go to the emergency room on Thanksgiving. Oh, save Grandma and Grandpa. Didn't we run into this years ago? Didn't they have people... Do we have that short term of a memory that we forgot what happened in 2020, 2021, 2022? And you notice how magically all of those paper napkins over people's faces went away. You know, except for the few that still wander around with the paper diapers over their ugly mugs. Are really odd to me that they're telling you need to do X, Y, or Z because it's going to save Grandma. You got to get your kids taken care of too. We got to slam this thing into their little bodies also. Well, where's all your testing on long-term effects of this, and then your sample sources? And oh no, don't you understand? You're the sample source. I mean, not really. What's the challenge? The challenge is getting more Americans to roll up their sleeves. Last year, just 45% of adults got this little jab. Only 45% of you. And even fewer, 23, got the COVID shoot. Guess what? Here, how many of those people ended up sick? Because they had eliminated the flu altogether in 2020, 2021. The flu was gone. I mean, the death tolls were just rising from the coof. And if you looked at what the death tolls were for the flu, well, they went non-existent. I mean, the amount of suicide that was involved because of the coof was amazing. The coof was so bad that it put 2 in Grandpa's head. It's amazing to me that all of the coof was like the cause of motorcycle accidents and car accidents and fires, and the house burned down. But did it burn down? Did Grandma die in the house? Yeah, she died in the house. Well, did she have the coof? Well, yeah, but I mean, that was because she couldn't get out because they locked the doors and put bars over it and welded her shut inside there. And oh my God, well, if she had the coof, then that's what the cause of death must have been. No, I mean, she was smoke inhalation. She was like trying to breathe, but the house was burning down around her. She couldn't get. No, it had to be the coof. It had to be the coof. We're marking it down as a coof death. Yeah, no, that was a pretty interesting time. But no, you're wondering why people don't want to go get this thing. I don't know. Maybe it could be a survey released Wednesday by the National Foundation for Infectious Disease shows an equally low number intended to this fall. Your mother and your brother both passed within 6 months of each other. Yes, to be able to not to add to their issues and to be with them. S and I and L and went with the Vexes. Never had it. She's still catching it. Doesn't work the same on everybody. And I'll say it again. I mean, I don't know because the coof still killed more Americans than the flu last year. But, if you look at what the number one leading cause of death is, it just depends on who you ask. Some will say that the leading cause of death is from bullet wounds. Some people say that they're from self-inflicted bullet wounds. People will say that they're from flus and coughs and blood diseases and cancers and all kinds of stuff. You know what the biggest cause of death last year was? And if you took it across all age groups, biggest cause of death. No, it might have been ripping a child out of a womb. That, I think, was one of the biggest causes of deaths. Weird how they don't talk about that. I mean, you want to stop death and destruction. Well, that's one good way of doing it. Couldn't go to work or school, but could have massive demonstrations in the streets. Well, of course. And guess what? They got to wear a mask the whole time. Oh, yeah. I'm not trying to cause any controversy. I'm just showing what they're talking about. Maybe we believe this is not going to be me, but let's not take that chance, says Michael Knight of George Washington University. Just why not give it? Why not just go get this untested thing and just jab it into your body and see what happens? I mean, what's it gonna hurt? Just go get it. It's okay. What's it gonna hurt? Oh, the CDC urges both an updated COVID-19 shot and yearly flu vaccine for everybody 6 months and older. You must get this shot. If you do not get this shot, you cannot enjoy a hamburger. If you don't enjoy a hamburger, how can you get any protein? If you can't have any protein, if you don't eat your meat, you can wait 2 or 3 months, but could still get an updated booster because of the unexpected winter surge. Oh, winter surge? Both viruses can be very dangerous to certain groups, including older people and those with weak immune systems and lung or heart disease. Young children are also more vulnerable. The CD counted 199 child deaths from flu last year. I'm better. Oh, yeah, that's a good immune system. If you get the shot, you'll get the flu. My husband says you can't. He's wrong. Yeah, he is wrong. Now, I avoided the flu shot. Oh yeah. I never ended up with getting the flu. It's really weird. Like my body's natural immune system was really pretty strong up until what was it, 2021? Yeah, I had a really strong immune system. Pretty damn strong. Just saying. Both viruses can be especially dangerous in certain groups. What about the COVID-19 shots? Well, you get these shots? Last fall, shots that targeted the COVID strain that no longer spread while users are tailoring to the new section of the coronavirus, the family tree. The COVID virus has a family tree. The Pfizer and Moderna shots are formulated against the viruses, sometimes called AP2 or the Novavax vaccine strain NJ1. The said they could all offer good protection, so you can go get this one for the Pfizer, and then this one for the Moderna, and then go get this one for the Novavax. Oh, it'd be so tasty. You just get all kinds of jabs. You'll be all right. And the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines can only be used by adults and children as young as 6 months. As young as 6 months, we can get it jabbing into you. The Novavax has more traditional protein vaccine combined with an immune booster to anyone older than 12. Does he speak at different languages? No. So which vaccine should you choose? Well, there's high-dose shots and one with special immune booster designed for people 65 and older, but only if they can find one easily and choose regular all-ages flu shots. For the shot out there, so you can also do the nasal spray. The flu mist is available for ages 2 to 49 at pharmacies and clinics, although next year it's set to be available for use at home. So you can just blow this flu all up in your nose. Isn't it amazing? Now, baby, we'll get you. All flu vaccines this year will guard against two type A flu strains and one B type. But one common form of the type B flu quit spreading a few years ago and was removed from the vaccine. But we're going to give it to you anyway. Yeah. Oh. Now he gets the next into morning, old coots and cootises. Hey, you call me a coot, man. Don't you come for me. So what about the other virus? RSV. Oh, RSV. That's a respiratory cyclovirus. It's a code-like nuisance for most people, but it too packs hospitals every year, can be deadly for children under 5, the elderly, and people with high-risk health problems. The CDC recommends an RSV vaccination for everyone 75 and older, and for people 60 to 74 who are at increased risk. This is a one-time shot, not a yearly vaccination, but only 24% of seniors got it last year. Well, that's because we killed off the other 75. But it's also recommended late in pregnancy to protect babies born during the fall and winter. What? Didn't we learn this shit back whenever we had kids that were coming out with flippers? Did we not learn not to be jabbing pregnant women with stuff? Yeah. Yeah, remember, a lot of people don't know about this, but there was certain shots that they were giving pregnant women that were malforming their children, where they're coming out with like flippers, basically. Yeah, they forgot about that, huh? I guess not. I guess people just don't pay any attention to history. I don't remember what the hell the thing was, but it was supposed to be really good for women. Yeah, until kids came out all like looking like, something from Geek Love. But while your arm may hurt and you feel crummy for a day. Oh. It's also fine to get the RSV flu and the coof all at the same time. Oh, what will it cost? Well, don't you worry about it. They're supposed to be free under Medicare and Medicaid and most private insurance plans that people use an in-network provider. About 1.5 million uninsureds got the free vaccines through a federal program last year. Oh, but that ended. We had to pay for the illegals. Instead, the CDC is providing $62 million to health departments to help improve access, and states and large cities are starting to roll out their plans. Call your local health department or ask about options, because in many areas, availability of the vaccine at lower or no cost is expected to trickle in over the next couple of weeks. The Dr. Raynard Washington, who leads the Mecklenburg County, North Carolina Health Department. Trucking is the thing. My logistics is and I'll put my greatest general strategies to shit. Morning, y'all. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Oh, and just check the government website. Vaccines for availability at local pharmacies. Yeah. That's what the world is asking for. More jabs. It's asking for more jabs. I hesitate to show the images of what one lady has had to suffer as she went and got the jab. But I think I found what she suffered. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. Hold on. Let me see. It'll take me a second. I'll bring it up. And make this is one lady that got the jab, and look at how she's suffering. Oh, wrong one. Oh. Who did this? Oh my God, who sent this? Oh, this is bad. Oh, I can't show this. Yeah, I can. You remember that angry feminist? This is her today. Oh, God. Oh, I'm sorry. It's so bad. Oh, you guys got to stop showing me these kinds of things. It's so horrible. Oh, oh God. Oh. Oh, Jesus. This just makes these kinds of mornings just make me laugh. Always make me laugh. Oh. Let me see if there was something I saw here that was, give me just a second. I have to pull it up. It'll be right here. Okay. Let me move this over here because I've got to show you. Once you see it, you're going to have a hard time unseeing it. You have to bear with me. It's going to take a little time to get there. I think I need some more coffee before I do this, though, because this is going to take a little time. So you guys hang out. Go grab yourself another cup of coffee. Pour yourself another cup of Joe. I'll be right back, and we'll go over this next one because it's good. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Just letting you know. Be right back.
Sandy shores get a tan, Rambo the orangutan. Driving a golf cart, oh man, Rambo is half crazy, yes he can. Well, that SOB's a sight to effing see. Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Whoa, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is, well, that is too dirty to say here. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is that is too dirty to say here, Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Otters in the surf, hummingbirds in the sky. Rambo honks the horn and spits in Shizzy's eye. Oh my! Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Oh, Rambo's rolling. Rambo takes a turn, driving to the wave. Otters wave their paws, telling Rambo, not sure, but if you could understand, Otter, it probably wasn't nice. Rambo takes a turn, driving to the waves. Otters wave their paws, telling Rambo, not sure, but if you could understand, Otter, it probably wasn't nice. Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having a effing blast. here's to Rambo, otters and hummingbirds by the edge of the ocean. And Shizzy, well, he might just be there too. Well, here's to Rambo, otters and hummingbirds by the edge of the ocean. And Shizzy, well, he might just be there too.
Oh, yeah. Happy, nice, cool Texas this morning. Yeah. Right. Show tunes. Nice music. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey there, Debbie Webb. Good to see you. Oh, yeah. See you who all came in here. Stormy wind. You need a good laugh this morning, y'all. Oh, this one will make you laugh. Eventually, whenever you see it, make it go away. OpenAI Chief Technology Officer Mira Mirata and 2 other execs are leaving the ChatGPT maker. Well, why? High-ranking executives, OpenAI, who served a few days as its interim CEO during a period of turmoil last year, said she's leaving the AI company. Mira Mirata, OpenAI's Chief Technology Officer, said in a written statement Wednesday after much reflection that she has made the difficult decision to leave OpenAI. I'm stepping away because I want to create a time and a space to do my own exploration. Exploration. I want to get so deep. Sorry, that's so bad. Oh, God. The 2 other top executives were also on their way out. CEO Sam Altman announced later Wednesday the decisions by Marathi, as well as OpenAI's Chief Research Officer Bob McGrew and another researcher leader, Barrett Zoff, were made independently of each other and amicably, Altman said in a note to employees he shared on social media. They are the latest high-profile departures from the San Francisco-based OpenAI, which started as a non-profit research laboratory, is best known for making ChatGPT. Its president and co-founder, Greg Brockman, said in August he was taking a sabbatical through the end of the year. Another co-founder, John Schulman, left in August for a rival Anthropic, founded in 2021 by a group of exec OpenAI leaders. Yet another co-founder, Aliyah Zuckerberg, who led the team focused on AI safety, left in May and started his own AI company. Days after Zuckerberg's departure, his safety team co-leader Jan Leakey also resigned and left criticism at OpenAI for letting safety take a backseat to shiny ducks. Marathi spoke positively of the company and Altman in a departing note to colleagues, sharing on social media, describing it as the pinnacle of AI innovation and saying it's hard to leave a place one wishes. Altman expressed his gratitude for Marathi's service and said leadership changes are natural for a fast-growing company. Well, same way with fast-growing. Never mind. Altman expressed his gratitude for Marathi's service and said leadership changes are natural for a fast-growing company. I obviously won't pretend it's natural for this one to be so abrupt, but we're not a normal company, Altman said in a post on X that was also announced that 6 other people were taking roles. Like sushi rolls or just rolls? Maybe pizza rolls? I don't know. They were taking the roles, though. Marathi was suddenly catapulted into the company's interim CEO late last year after the board of directors fired Altman, sparking upheaval in the AI industry. The company later brought in another CEO before restoring Altman to his leadership role and replacing most of the board members who ousted him. And you're saying, well, that's not much of a story. Well, until you read the next one. Because the next one day along the Texas-Mexico border shows that realities shift more rapidly than rhetoric. Now, here's the thing. Is if you've seen any of the stuff we do on Sunday, and you go way back in that way back machine, whenever we first started doing AI stories, because that's how we got started, being AI stories. This was the same kind of bullshit that AI would write. And this looks just like it was written by AI. So I know where these people went to. They went to go write for AI. That's exactly what this is. AI is now being being used to write your newspaper. Your news stories are being written by AI. But let's read on and see if what I say is true. Because look at all these people that are writing this. Midnight nears the lights of El Paso, Texas. In Juarez, Mexico, they fill the sky on the silent banks of the Rio Grande. A few months ago, hundreds of asylum-seeking families, including crying toddlers, waited for an opening to crawl through razor wire from Juarez to El Paso. No one is waiting there now. Nearly 500 miles away, in the border city of Eagle Pass, large groups of illegals that were once commonplace are rarely seen on the riverbanks these days. In McAllen, the other end of the Texas border, 2 Border Patrol agents scanned fields for 5 hours without encountering a single illegal. It is a return to relative calm after an unprecedented surge of illegals through the southern border in recent years. But no one would know listening to Hamilton Harris and Donald Trump talking about border enforcement at dueling presidential campaigns events, and no one would know from the rate at which Texas is spending on border crackdown called Operation Star, $11 billion since 2021. Trump, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and other elected officials often refer to the country's open border with Mexico. Immigration is a top issue in the presidential election, and most American voters say it should be reduced. But conditions along the border shift more rapidly than political rhetoric. Arrests for illegal crossings plummeted nearly 80% from December to July. Summer heat typically reduces migration. Illegals. But on top of that, Mexican authorities sharply increased enforcement within their borders in December. Plus, Joe Biden introduced major asylum restrictions in June. What state you all from? New York? Well, I'm from Georgia, man. Crossings are still high by historical standards, and record numbers of forcibly displaced people worldwide. More than 170 million at the end of last year, according to the UN Refugee Agency, may make the drop temporary. And some Republican critics say that Biden's new and expanded legal pathways to enter the U.S. are just a shell game to reduce illegal crossings, along with the chaotic images of the headlines they spawn while still allowing people in. I'm telling you, this is written by AI right here. I don't care what they say. This right here is written by AI. The Texas Tribune and Associated Press spent 24 hours in 5 cities on Texas' mile border with Mexico to compare rhetoric with reality. I'm telling you, this story is written by damned AI. Why do I say that? Because I've written, I don't know how many God blessed AI stories and how many of them I've had to like completely throw out because they were just completely screwy. Holy crap. Yeah, I mean, I'm reading through this thing and I'm like, how in the hell, why in the hell do we have this group of people that are talking about, oh, well, there's nobody crossing the border illegally anymore. They're doing it legally. Many illegals were released without notices to appear in court where they can request asylum because they don't have asylum. We are being flooded in the United States by this stuff. But yet they're going to constantly say, look, there's nobody here. Why? Right before an election. Why do we not have any illegals cross the border right before an election? Because they know that as soon as Trump gets into office, what's going to happen? Good morning, girls. Girl Racer. Sorry, my eyesight's not that good. Girl Racer, good to see you. See, I need to get some new glasses. That's what I need. See, these right here aren't prescription glasses at all. All they are is a light filter to cut down on the blue light. Help stop with some of the headaches. But whenever I read these stories, I'm going, it is really pitiful that you have to get AI to write a story about border crisis that doesn't exist. Yeah. Yeah. We all know the truth to this. We all know the truth to this, that there is an issue. And, of course, again, it's not going to help people at all. It is not going to help people at all. Not as much as you think. But this right here might.
Now, middle-class tax cuts are just the start of my plan. We will also go after the biggest drivers of cost for the middle class and work to bring
The government. The government. The biggest driver of cost. You're going to work to bring down the government? I don't think so.
them down.
Oh.
And one of those, some would argue one of the biggest, is the cost of housing.
Nope. And nope. That it. Nope. The biggest cost is housing. Now, I would say the biggest cost right now driving things into the ground is the cost of government. The amount of money that's being spent, oof.
So here's what we will do. We will cut the red tape.
Wait, no. They tried this, and look what happened in 2008. What happened in 2008? Lest we forget what happened in 2008.
That stops homes from being built and take on, in addition, corporate landlords who are hiking rental prices.
Oh, that's not how it works, you dimwit. And she's speaking at the Economic Club in Pittsburgh.
And we will work with builders and developers to construct 3 million new homes and rentals for the middle class.
They're doing it for Section 8 housing. Soon wasteful, plus they take. Hello, poodle lady. How you doing? Oh, so sick of throwing the words middle class around. You'll only hurt the middle class even more if elected. Exactly. Yeah, it sounds like fake applause, but hey, what do I know?
Because increasing the housing supply will help drive down the cost of housing.
No, what would help drive down the cost of housing? The cost that it takes to build a house. Okay. And the reason that costs are so high is because to get material to where it needs to be is very expensive. Because more people are concerned with buying a 52-inch flat screen than they're concerned with, say, feeding their children, saving for a rainy day. Because we are so interested in the things that really don't matter in the world that we fail to recognize the things that are most important, like family. But it's easier just to delete those, family out of your body because, my choice, my body. If you want to see what's costing everything so much, you know when things are bad, whenever people find more satisfaction out of entertainment than work. Because entertainment takes away the pain of knowing that going, damn, my dinner is going to cost me 3 times the amount that it cost me last time that I cooked dinner. Why is the prices going up? Why are we paying McDonald's employees $15 an hour? Why are we trying to get that minimum? Well, why not just make minimum wage $50 an hour? 100? Why not? Well, because, well, shit, you know, it's $1,500 for a cell phone. Yeah, there you go, $1,500 for a cell phone. Dollars, whatever. But it's the latest, greatest cell phone. Well, it's because the landlord's driving up the rent prices. Really, I don't think your rent prices have changed much as you like to think that they have. Could be where you're living at, because I remember back in the day, what was it, 80s, me and my cousin, sort of, not really cousin by like step cousin thing. Long story. Got an apartment together. So he had a room, I had a room, and you know, he worked a morning shift, I worked night shift. I think we saw each other maybe once or twice a week, and we would just buy food, put it in the fridge. If we took something, we'd just replace it. One of the best roommates I ever had. It cost me $200 a month for this 2-bedroom apartment, and that was, you know, my part, so it was like $400 a month, and that included all utilities, electricity, or whatever. Amazing that we had no issues. Just, you know, roommates, here you go, here's $200 at the beginning of the month, and then he would pay the bill, and you know, we would buy food. I think my total cost of living at that point in time was maybe $600 a month. That's how much it cost me to survive. That included food, cigarettes. You know, I didn't drink at the time, so that was a good money saver. I'd only go out to drink and, you know, go to a club every so often. But I didn't eat out. I didn't eat fast food. I mean, I would buy like a breakfast burrito or two at the local gas station whenever I'd be heading out, because I worked pipeline construction, and my income was, you know, I think whenever I first started, I pulled in like 60 grand that year. And then the next year I was pulling in even more money. By the time I left, I was pulling in close to 160 grand a year. This was in 1990. Yeah, and then I went on tour with a band and made no money at all. My savings dried up really damn quick. You'd be surprised how fast that goes. But yeah, that was and that was during not even an oil boom. That was just like on the tip of the iceberg. Housing could easily go back to that. I mean, gas was 99 cents if I went into Texas. I lived on Texas, New Mexico border. In New Mexico, it cost $1.01. Hell, I remember moving here to Georgia. When I first moved here to Georgia, yes, I delivered pizzas for a while. And as a pizza delivery driver, gasoline was 79 cents a gallon. Imagine that, 79 cents a gallon. And I delivered pizzas. I pulled in, anywhere between $200 or $300 a night, a day, because I worked a day shift, and then I would take a couple hours off and then work a night shift delivering pizzas. And then or else I would cook, you know, just depending on what I felt like that day, how many drivers there were, or if they needed somebody to, you know, make the pizzas. Yeah, and I made bank. Gas was inexpensive. My rent was, I don't know, $200-300 a month, whatever. It's not hard to do. You just have to be able to be willing to sacrifice. I mean, I went got LASIK done in 98, 99, something like that. I went and got my eyes LASIKed because I had bad eyesight. Really bad eyesight. And so I went and got my eyes LASIK. And the way that I did it is I ate ramen noodles for 6 months and pizza. You know, those were my sources of protein. I think I spent my daily cost on food was practically nil, just so I could get my eyes lasered. You know, made sure my rent was taken care of, and saved every single penny that I could, because I had broken my glasses like for the 20th time, and I didn't want to go and get glasses again. and I wasn't about to go back to wearing contacts because they fucked up my eyes the first time. Yeah. So that's the cost of living that you can do, and it has nothing to do with housing. You know, if you want to buy a house, if that is your goal, you don't have to buy the newest car every year. You don't have to spend $80,000 on a brand new SUV because, well, that's what you got to do. You can save, you can scrimp, you can, cut corners, you can avoid taking that nice vacation. You work extra hours where you can, work an extra job if you need to, and you do everything in your power to make as much money as you possibly can and stash that crap away, put it into a hell, it could be just a savings account. And once you've done that, you can turn around and the amount of money that you can save in a year's time may not be able to buy you that house. But you're going to look and go, holy crap, I've got X amount of dollars sitting in my savings account. And I'm busting my ass. Why am I busting my ass? Why am I doing all this work? Why am I skipping vacations? Why do I work on my birthday? Why do I work on holiday? Why do I work on those days that are going to pay me double time? Because, that's the kind of company I work for, is where they'll pay you double time on holidays, is because you're going, I want to buy a house. And you will appreciate that house so much more than if the government gives you a handout and says, here, go buy yourself a house. I know it's a $600,000 home, but we'll give it to you anyway. I know you can't afford because you don't know what it means to scrimp and save. You don't know what it means to go, hey, I've got a leaky faucet. Why don't I not worry about my water bill and I just put a new washer in it? Because you took the time to figure out how to do that. Not really hard to be able to build wealth, even in shitty times like this. But you have to start with yourself. You can't sit there and expect the government to, give you handouts and help you out. And I know people are going, well, I'm an old man now. I can't do the kind of work that I used to do. Yeah. The things, if I would have saved money back then, knowing what I know now. That's why you teach your younger generation these kinds of lessons. And you don't let them get away with bullshit. Don't let them get away with the bullshit that they are. Every time they're out there screaming about, we need to free Palestine, slap the ever-living snot out of them and say, child, you're still on my insurance. If you want to be on your own, you'll be on your own. And then you take that money and you save it for them. They, go get your own damn insurance. You're off. You're done. I'm not paying you to go. I'm not paying your school anymore money for you to go and protest this stuff. I paid for you to go get an education, not to go out and, start causing problems. Schools should do the same thing. You want to cause problems at our school? You want to protest? Well, see you bye. Take your happy ass along with the protest. Go ride the gravy train. See you. Have fun. Sorry.
We will also help first-time homebuyers just get their foot in the door with the
get their foot in the door. They still don't know how to take care of it.
$25,000 down payment assistance.
That does nothing. $25,000 does nothing. Because here's the thing. If you are looking to get into a home, $25,000 does absolutely nothing. You have to have at least 20% to get in on a lower interest rate. $25,000 isn't even going to get you a quarter of the way there. And then the people that they're going to do it for are people that actually can afford to do it on their own. Do you think that somebody that's making minimum wage can afford to move into a $600,000 home with a family of 5? $300,000 home? half the price. Do you think they can afford to move into a $50,000 home? I mean, they've got a brand new freaking Maserati sitting in their driveway that costs $250,000. Do you think after that car payment and the amount of maintenance that it requires to take care of it, that they're able to afford a $50,000 home? No, because they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Because the goal is clear. Let's help more Americans afford to buy a home, which we know is a critical step in their ability to grow their wealth and intergenerational wealth.
If you want to grow your wealth and intergenerational wealth, you have to stop killing them first. You have to stop killing off the children. That'd be the first thing to do. But you teach them better spending habits. How about go back to teaching economics in schools or civics? Or maybe just like teaching math. But instead, you want to teach diversity, equity, inclusion. You want to teach that boys should be with boys and girls should be with girls, and chopping body parts off is okay. That's what you're bringing into your school systems now. Like, it's gotten to the point where you're more concerned with, putting tampons in boys' rooms than you are of teaching little girls home economics. I took home ec. Home ec was pretty damn awesome. And it wasn't just because of the chicks, but it taught you how to sew, how to stitch, how to put a button on, how to balance a checkbook. That was part of home economics, was teaching you some of the simplest things. They were like, oh, well, you're only taking it because the girls. Well, initially, yeah, but you know what? I can actually cook pretty damn good. I can thank my first period home ec teacher for that. I learned how to make cookies from scratch. Oh my God. You know how impressive that is whenever you're a teenager? Make cookies from scratch? Holy crap. That's gone. All of that's gone. Now they're more interested in having metal detectors in school and having drills of how to protect yourself from a mass pew-pewer. Good morning, Magic 8. Good morning. Then actually teaching you some of the most simple things that even a 7th grade student should know.
And we will work to reduce other big costs for middle-class families.
Yeah, I doubt it. That's not how they work. That's how they work. Oh yeah, this one right here. I saw this morning.
Is it that the father of the shooter in the Butler instance has one of the best and most expensive lawyers in the entire state of Pennsylvania? How did he get to this expensive lawyer, big law firm, the biggest in Pittsburgh? Where did he get this big law firm from? It's sort of strange.
Morning, Winnie. How you doing? Woke up early and saw you were live. Thought you'd stop by and say hi. Well, welcome. Good to see you, Winnie, my Georgia brother. At least you're. I hope that you're. The rain is not bothering you too much, because it's not bothering me right now. Except my front yard looks like an absolute catastrophe. Well, and that's only because we're having some work done, like getting some grading done, so we don't end up with massive floods. Weird how that happens. We're trying to stop the flooding from happening, and of course, what does it do? It decides to rain. It decides to rain. Just a little bit more. There we go. This one's for you.
There are people there that are stressed. that feel that they're at
This- this
capacity.
is the earrings
Communities
she's
around the
wearing.
country that have legal immigration, many have said we're at capacity.
Same earrings.
And many feel like the government has said to them, well, adapt, sit down, be quiet. This is how it is. What would a Harris administration do for those communities who've taken in many, many legal immigrants, but are at capacity?
Well, first of all, we do have a broken immigration system, and it needs to be fixed. And if we take a step back, months ago, some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress came together with others.
This is a lie. This is a lie again. Good Lord. You realize this is the person that's been in charge for the past 4 years. This is part of the administration that's been doing this for the past 4 years. And all of a sudden, oh, there's something, we're going to do something about this, but you have to elect me. You're the one that caused all of this crap in the first place. You want John Connor?
Proposed a border security bill that would have put 1,500 new border agents on the border to help those hard.
No, it would not have. Don't lie about this. All that it was going to do, it was to put people in more processing centers to process more illegals into the country. That's all that it was going to do. Read the damn bill. You are lying. This is a lie. You can say it as much as you want to, but that is a lie because I have pulled up the bill. That bill, all it wanted to do was to allow more agents to be working in processing centers to process the amount of illegals that were coming in for asylum seeker, which means that they would just basically process them in, fill out a piece of paper, send them on their way, and say, well, you're going to have to show up in a year and a half to an asylum hearing. That's all that it was going to do. Yeah, they stopped enforcing the laws. Exactly.
Hardworking border agents who are there right now working around the clock would have put more money into stemming the flow of fentanyl, which is killing Americans
You caused this. This is crap that you caused.
around our country and devastating communities. Would have put more resources into our ability to prosecute transnational criminal organizations, which in my career I've prosecuted.
How many? Where? Wait, she's prosecuted these. Now somebody pulled this up, and they did a lot of research, deep dived into this. And do you know how many times her name showed up as prosecuting these big things as a prosecutor? Did her name show up? No, she went. No, do the deep dive. Do the deep dive. Yeah, she didn't care about fentanyl for 4 years. What makes you think she's going to do anything about it now? Oh, she did. She slept with a lot of them. She slept with a lot of people that were prosecuting.
Donald Trump got word of the bill, realized it was going to fix a problem.
Donald Trump had no control over that. You're telling me that Donald Trump, as an American citizen, was able, that is some fucking power. And I've said this before, that is a hell of a lot of power that man has to be a former president and to change the route of people wanting to vote for a bill that sent another, was it $70 billion to Ukraine? I think it was $5 billion that they were going to send for border stuff, but part of that $5 billion was border stuff in the Ukraine border and the Israel border. Yeah. So tell me again, what was it that you were going to do? See, and all that Biden had to do was make it illegal to come across the border. He could have made in a direct, you call that executive order, to make that stop. But he didn't. He did nothing. He sat in a studio that was made to look like the damn White House to give speeches and tell people to get jabs. That's what he did. He would sit there with a face diaper on and roll up his sleeve while they jabbed him in the arm with who knows what the hell. That's what they did for the first 2 years, was tell us how many times we needed to get, stuck in the arm. How many more children have they lost? 700,000 were missing in April, up from 885,000 in 2022. Where are the children, Camel Toe? Where are the children? This is what's happened under you.
Problem he wanted to run on and told him to kill the bill, don't put it up for a vote.
That's some power right there. If a man can do that, he's got some power. Oh. Yeah, no, we're not supposed to be funding another country's war. We're that right there should be, that is an EU problem, Santiago. And no, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. That's a man that has a lot of power.
He killed a bill that would have actually been a solution because he wants to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
She's been running on the same problem for the past 4 years. She's done absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing for 4 years. Yeah, of course. But whenever she's elected, she's going to do this.
And that's part of what needs to be addressed. And my pledge is that when elected president,
you're the fucking vice president right now. Why haven't you done anything? That's right. Can't. Because you created the problem. DMG, the new muckraker report on child trafficking going on under the Biden-Harris administration. Yeah, I'll watch it later.
if the American people will have me.
Everybody's had you, Camel Toe. Just as Joe.
I will bring that bill back and I will sign it into law. And we need a comprehensive plan that includes what we need to do to fortify not only our border, but deal with the fact that we also need to create pathways for people to earn citizenship.
No, there is a pathway. It's called you apply for that long before you get your happy ass in this country. You apply for citizenship long before you bring your happy ass here. That is the path for it. Also, whenever you're trying to become an American citizen, you are supposed to become expatriated from your old country. It means you leave behind the things of your old country and you into something a little bit. You don't want to bring your country with you. There's nothing wrong with bringing the parts that really help out. But there's under no circumstances should we be changing the English language that we've been speaking for well over 100 years. Was it close to 200 now? Over 200? 250? Whatever. My math sucks. But we should be speaking the English language. And I don't mean the Queen's English. The Queen's English can go to hell for all I care. But you come to this country, we shouldn't have to change everything to be a bilingual country. You don't see us having German everywhere or French or anything else. There's a reason why if you go to another country, say Spain or Germany or France or Russia or Ukraine or any of these other countries, why they speak English, because the amount of English-speaking tourists greatly numbers the amount of Spanish speaking. Yeah, she will crush the middle class in the most vile way. Speaking of crushing, a fall climber strands partner on Wyoming's Devil's Tower. This is so scary. A climber fell to his death while rappelling down Devil's Tower, leaving his partner stranded without a rope on the face of a Wyoming geological formation. is messed up. Now, I was pouring my first cup of coffee this morning, which I need to go get some more. I was pouring my first cup of coffee this morning, and this word came into my head. I don't know why it came into my head, but it was Eau Claire. I was like, where did that? Why am I thinking of this Eau Claire? I had not seen this story, but the death of Philip Porter, 21, of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I have. It just was one of those that popped into my head. Eau Claire. And then here is this damn story. I was like, I've got to read this story. Was the 7th climbing fatality in the park's 116th year anniversary history. Some 6,000 people climb the formation every year. The two were on a relatively easy climbing route called El Craco Diablo. Sorry. They had summited the tower and were headed back down when Porter fell. How the fall happened was unknown. Well, he let go. The incident is still being investigated. Crossan said, standing with sheer sides almost 870 feet, or 265 meters for those that don't live in the U.S., above the surrounding countryside and a mile, or 1.6 kilometers, above sea level, Devil's Tower is the world's largest example of columnar joining. The fused pillars of igneous rock that formed as underground magma. Established in 1908, Devil's Tower was the first national monument and played a role in that wonderful 1977 film, Close Encounter, the Third Kind. Yeah, look familiar? Remember the big drawing everybody was making? Then they had to show up. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. No, see, this is the problem. This is the problem. Whenever you start to understand what's going on in the United States, no. It's unfortunate for you, but you can believe whatever you want to believe. The problem is Mr. Junior, is we bring in the receipts. Yeah, we bring in the receipts. As much as you like to say that we don't have those, we do have the receipts. Why? Why? Because that's what we do. But right before we start bringing out those receipts, if you really want to see the receipts, you'll just have to wait, because I'm going to go grab some coffee. I suggest everybody grab a nice coffee. Here you go.
Sandy shores, get a tan, Rambo the orangutan. Driving a golf cart, oh man, Rambo is half crazy, yes he can. Well, that SOB's a sight to F and see. Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is, well, that is too dirty to say here. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is that is too dirty to say here, Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Otters in the surf, hummingbirds in the sky. Rambo honks the horn and spits in Shizzy's eye. Oh my! Oh, Rambo's rolling. rolling, rolling, rolling. As the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Oh, Rambo's rolling. Rambo takes a turn, driving to the way. Otters wave their paws, telling Rambo, not sure, but if you could understand Otter, it probably wasn't nice. Rambo takes a turn.
Oh yeah. Oh, as I said, we bring the receipts.
The principle of majority. Democracy is a form of government based upon the principle of majority rule. Period. End of discussion. Now that's not very complicated. Majority rule. It's easy to understand, easy to sell to the masses, and I might add, deadly. For example, what would you call a lynch mob? That's majority rule. There's only one dissenting vote, and he's at the end of the rope. Now that's pure democracy in action. But wait a minute, you say. The majority should rule, yes, but not to the extent of destroying the rights of the minority. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are no longer describing a democracy. We are speaking of a republic. A republic is a limited democracy. It's a form of government based upon the principle of limited majority rule. Limited so that the minority, even a minority of one, can be protected against the whims and passions of the majority. And how do you protect the minority from the majority? You write down a set of rules on a piece of paper. You say, this we can do, that we cannot. At the top of the paper, you write the word Constitution. And then everyone agrees to follow the rules no matter what the temptation. And when you're finished, you've created a constitutional republic.
Important public service, and no employee should suffer reprisal for bringing forward information that they reasonably believe is evidence of waste, fraud, abuse, or a violation of law. As we've seen, employees with a security clearance are particularly vulnerable to retaliation because an employee's due process protections and right to appeal a security clearance suspension or revocation are more limited. Moreover, such employees can remain suspended without pay for lengthy periods of time before having an ability to contest the security clearance action. Federal law requires agencies to have an appeal process that enables employees alleging reprisal due to a security clearance revocation or suspension lasting more than 1 year to seek Inspector General review of the reprisal allegation. The law also requires government agencies to establish a review process that, to the extent practicable, permits individuals with a retaliation claim to retain their government employment status while the security clearance review is pending. In May 2024, my office issued a Management Advisory Memorandum, or MAM, finding that the department's then existing policy didn't include the required IG appeal process for suspensions. As we noted in the MAM, placing an employee who claims retaliation on unpaid suspension while a lengthy security clearance investigation is conducted can make it financially unrealistic for the employee to retain their government employee status. Moreover, it creates the risk that the security process can be misused as part of an inappropriate effort to encourage an employee to resign. I'm pleased that the department has promptly responded to our MAM's recommendations. Separately, we've also received complaints about the security clearance suspension and adjudication process that go beyond the issues detailed in our MAM, including allegations of inconsistent compliance with standard operating procedures on the opening of security investigations, highly inappropriate investigations being asked, inappropriate questions being asked of witnesses during the security clearance investigations, inconsistent outcomes on security clearance suspension determinations, the suspension and revocation of an employee's eligibility to hold a clearance based on race, and retaliation against employees for raising concerns to management about security clearance suspensions, investigations, and adjudications. These allegations raise serious issues, and I would note do not apply to only a subset of employees with certain political views or ideologies.
Hmm.
During today's hearing, for both investigative and privacy reasons, the only whistleblower retaliation matter that I can discuss is the one involving Mr. Allen. I'm able to do so because Mr. Allen recently settled his employment claims with the FBI, or against the FBI, with the FBI reinstating his security clearance and agreeing to provide him back pay. Following the settlement, Mr. Allen withdrew the retaliation complaint he had filed with my office, resulting in the OIG closing our retaliation investigation. Mr. Allen also waived any privacy rights that might otherwise prohibit me from discussing our investigation of the claims. As a result, I'm able to discuss with you today the factual details we learned during our investigation, which will illustrate many of the systemic issues that we've seen with the security clearance process. For example, in Mr. Allen's case, his unpaid security clearance began in early 2022 and didn't end until the settlement in June 2024. Most employees in Mr. Allen's situation would find it unrealistic financially to retain their government employee status for over 2 years without pay, which is in tension with the law's requirement that agencies allow individuals claiming retaliation to retain their employment status while a security review is ongoing.
And you say, well, what is the importance of this? Well, what is the importance of this? Let's find out what the actual importance for this is. You say, well, there's got to be a reason why that becomes such an important question. Well, here you go. This is why.
Inspector General Horowitz, over the past 3 years, I've questioned FBI Director Wray and Attorney General Merrick Garland about the federal assets, such as confidential human sources that were present on January 6th at the Capitol. And they have continuously stonewalled me. We've got no answers whatsoever about this from them. Now, you announced that you were going to do a review of the DOJ response and preparation, mainly preparation, I think, for January 6th. When did you start that review? When did you announce that review?
We announced it in 2021, but we ended up pausing it because of the ongoing criminal cases consistent with how we perform our work. We reinitiated it last year, and I'm in the process of reviewing a draft of the report.
So 3.5 years ago, it was announced that you'd be doing this review, and we still don't have the review, do we?
No, as I said, the reason is we paused the review because of the ongoing criminal work that would, consistent with our practice, we don't interfere with ongoing criminal investigations.
So, but now that you've restarted it, do you have evidence of the number of confidential human sources that were operating on the Capitol grounds on January 6th?
Oh, yeah, you heard the question right. How many undercover federal agents were there on Capitol grounds during January the 6th? How many were involved in walking into Capitol grounds on January 6th? How many of those were there? You notice how quickly Epps went away with a slap on the wrist. Weird, huh? So how many sources did you have there on Capitol grounds? Well, listen to his answer.
Our report will include the information in that regard.
And when is that report due out?
Can you tell us today how many there were? Were there more than 100?
I'm not in a position to say that, both because it's in draft form and we have not gone through the classification review.
Oh, this is stonewalling right here.
So I need to be careful on what
So we're 4 years in. The reason to do these reports, I think, is so we don't make this, if there were any mistakes, not to make the same mistakes again, but we are just weeks away from the inauguration. We're 4 years, almost 4 years into this report. When is it going to be released?
Expectation, although I don't control this entirely because it has to go through a classification review, but certainly in the next couple of months is my hope.
Do you think
September, October, November? You're going to have it before the election? Nope. Do you know when they expect to have it? Will it be before the inauguration in January 6th? Nope. When do you expect to have when do you expect to have this happen? I mean, what is your expected date to have something that you've been working on for the past, it'll be 4 years at this point, to let us know how many we had assets, federal assets that were on Capitol grounds that may have just been pushing this. How many of those? How many?
Is there any consideration for the election about the release of this report?
Nope,
Would you
none at all.
delay it in order to not release it before right before the election?
At this point, given the process that has to play out in terms of classification review and all of that, I'm not making any, I don't have to make any judgment about that. We're still, that still has to go on. Just to give you a sense of it, when I did the Pfizer.
You're saying it's not even going to be done in time for before the election?
It doesn't, I doubt it would be done in time for the election.
Is it going to be done before the inauguration?
That is certainly my hope. And
it's your hope. We're 4 years into it, and we know what we do know is you're going to expose that there were confidential human sources at the Capitol. Can you tell us today how many went into the Capitol?
No.
I'll have that information in the report. I'm
sometime next year.
To speak to information in there, both because it's in draft and we get a response from the department and the FBI, but also because I don't know yet what's classified and not classified.
So if they broke the law, if they went into the Capitol, which we pretty much know there were confidential human sources who went into the Capitol and there alongside of everybody else, wouldn't they need to follow DOJ CHS protocols? And do you know if those were followed?
They should follow CHS protocols. And again, we'll include that information in the report.
Do you know how many
on your end, I hope,
for travel?
As I sit here, I don't recall the number. But I
don't recall, or you won't tell us.
Well, and if I did know it, I
probably wouldn't tell you anyway.
We still have to go through.
We're 4 years into this. You're supposed to be the organization that goes and gets these answers when the FBI and the DOJ stonewall Congress. But I feel like, we're 4 years into this. We're not even going to get this information you're telling us now before the election, and maybe not even before the next inauguration. How would we make any corrections or without that information?
Yeah. Weird, huh? How can we fix it if you don't tell us exactly what it is? Why do people insist on being so ignorant to it? I begin to have a hard time understanding. See, the thing is, whenever it breaks your narrative, it really, really drives people up the wall. And I feel for you, Santiago. I really do. I really feel for you, because you're no different than any of the other single fans want to sit there and go after somebody for things that are untrue. Because you've got this narrative. My wife does the same. Bless her soul. They have this narrative. Whenever you debunk one thing that they talk about, then they shift gears and they want to say, well, what about this? And you debunk that. And you're basically having to debunk every single thing that they say. And at some point you just say, you know what? Look it up, do the research yourself. I don't have any desire to change your mind, because I can sit there and prove you time and time and time again of where you're wrong. And it doesn't do any good to explain it to them. You just go, I don't have to defend my position, because you're just going to keep attacking with a different route. You're looking for a weak spot in my argument. I don't care. I don't care what your argument is. You have to understand, over the past, 50 plus years that I've been walking this earth, I've developed a certain set of standards and a certain outlook on life. You don't have to agree with it. And it has changed over a long period of time. Yeah, it changes as you go through life. I'm not so stupid as to sit there and say that I am that I have all the answers. Absolutely not. I'm also not stupid enough to sit there and think that Trump is some perfect angel. I don't view him as some sort of god. Unfortunately, there's people out there that view government as their new god. They're sucking at the teat of the government. They live for that. Their goal is to be suckling at the tit of the government. Everything that government does is so great. This is the problem with people like Santiago. They fail to recognize that their opinion is valid, but they haven't heard the whole story. Yeah, exactly. It's a straw man argument, whatever they want to call it. And all I have to do is just show receipts, like this guy right here.
I made a video the other day asking people when was the moment that they came to the conclusion Donald Trump is racist. A lot of people said the Central Park 5. We'll talk about that in another video. For me personally, it was the very fine people on both sides thing.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
I remember seeing that clip and feeling like, wow, maybe he is racist. And I just happened to come across this video on YouTube. It basically said that the clip was edited and that I should go back and watch the entire clip. So I watched the entire thing. It got to that point where he says very fine people on both sides. And I'm like, see, that's exactly, I knew he said that. There's no point in me even continuing to watch this. And then it goes on and it gets to the part where he's like.
And I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
So he said he wasn't talking about the neo-Nazis and white supremacists. Why would they show me part of the story and make me feel like this? Even in the presidential debate against Joe Biden, he brought up the very fine people thing.
He said, I think they're fine people on both sides. What American president would ever say, Nazis coming out of fields, carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas, were fine people?
Kamala Harris just brought it up on the recent debate.
Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
People are still saying it, even though it's been debunked. Snopes just added this shit in 2024 that was a lie. He supposedly said in 2017. He dropped out of a presidential race because white supremacists joined his same party.
I'm not going to be running. The party is, as you know, self-destructing.
When you say the party is self-destructing, what do you see as the biggest problem with the Reform Party right now?
Well, you've got David Duke just joined, a bigot, a racist, a problem. I mean, this is not exactly the people you want in your party.
Then you find that clip of him with Jesse Jackson.
Beyond that, in terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too. And created for many people a comfort zone when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. And many others thought it was either laughable or something to avoid. He came to our business meeting here in New York because he has this sense of the curious and a will to risk to make things better. And so aside from all of his style and his pizzazz, he's a serious person who's an effective builder of people. Last year, he was a part of our workshop, of our panel workshop on what are the challenges and opportunities. And so a year later, Donald Trump, for a few minutes, challenges and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
Well, it is an honor to be here.
You see the clip with him on The View and him and Whoopi Goldberg, she's saying that they're friends.
I don't think I'm going to get Whoopi's vote.
If you did, let me just ask, if you did beat,
And she likes me. She even put me in her movies. She put me in her movies, right? A long time ago. And how much did I charge? Nothing.
like they say in the
It was a freebie.
if you did beat Obama, though.
People love this guy. Like Oprah saying he should run for president.
Do you have a vice presidential candidate in mind?
Well, I really haven't gotten quite there yet.
It's just
Oprah. I love Oprah. Oprah would always be my first choice. Oprah, your competitor, right?
Oprah's a competitor.
You know what?
No
I'll tell you, she's really a great woman. Though. She is a terrific woman. She's somebody that's very special.
Judge Joe Brown said,
I've talked to a number of black entrepreneurs who back in the late 80s and 90s, early 90s, were trying to get financing. They couldn't. Somebody told them to go check with Donald Trump. So they come back and tell me they got a loan from Donald Trump. You gave him a term loan. Show up with the interest in the principal, one check, but they had to go see him personally. They independently relate this tale that when they saw him, he said, "This what you supposed to pay me? This our agreement?" Said, "Yeah." And then tore the check up, shook their hands, and congratulations. Now run your business.
And this was when?
This was back in the 90s.
Waka Flocka talks about how he showed him how to increase his wealth.
Get a C corp to run an LLC. You're gonna make it even deeper. Go get a trust fund and run a corp that runs the LLC. You want to get even deeper, own two trust funds for your business and your person to run that trust that runs all the business. It can get deep, my God. Absolutely. And Donald Trump actually showed me that method.
People will say that they want truth, but when you try to present them with information that goes against their beliefs of Donald Trump, they act like this.
He's condemned white supremacy over 20 times.
Oh yes, man. Could you tell me?
Like Santiago. See, this is the problem with people like Santiago. It's not their fault. It's not their fault, because whenever you show them these things, they come back with their straw man arguments, and it's okay. We're used to this, and this happens on both sides. It's not just one side that does that. You can show some of the facts of things that Joe Biden has done, like supporting a former KKK, a grand wizard or whatever the hell they want to call him. You can show them that, yeah, he supported him. That you can pull up the clips of him, using the N-word with the hard R. You can pull up him, calling a certain group of people, some vile name, and they'll just go, "Well, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to see it. I don't care to see it. How dare you break my narrative?" Senator Byrd was a role model for her. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, absolutely. You have to understand that Donald Trump, yeah, sure, he was born with a silver spoon, but the beauty of it is at any point in time, he could have lost every single bit of it. At any point in time, you can lose every single penny. And this is what people don't understand is whenever they say, "Oh, well, they're a multimillionaire. How could they have lost all that money? They've done so well for themselves." But then you see someone that's at the bottom of the food chain, the poor, that creates something wonderful. And guess what? They move up in the world. You have to understand that Donald Trump has done more he does more in one day than most people do an entire week. In his 50s, in his 60s. Now he's in his 70s and he's slowed down a little bit. That still doesn't stop him. Hell, the bullet couldn't even stop him. Damn. Two assassination attempts. What do you think is going on? That there's been 2 assassination attempts and there's still another 4 or 5 that are being investigated. It's amazing to me that oh no, why would they ever do that? Why would people go after Trump? Because they're scared of him. Just like these people right here being shown the truth, yet they can't handle it. You want to see?
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to see a video of a montage of 20 times that he's done it?
Oh, actually, no. I'm more interested in walking up in.
But how are we going to learn if we don't challenge our ideas? I mean, you just made a statement that is actually inaccurate, and I can show you video evidence of why it is. I mean, would you like to see that?
No, thank you.
He's condemned white supremacy and the KKK over 20 times.
Over 20 times?
Yeah.
Do you have him right here? Can I listen to it?
Absolutely, you can. Let me pull it up for you right now.
All right.
By the way, I'm James. How's your day going, man?
It'd be a lot better if you guys were wearing masks.
We can socially distance.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Wait. You don't want to see the examples? I have 20 examples right here.
He is a white supremacist.
It's just like Yuri said.
Exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, when a military boot crashes his balls, then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragic of the situation of demoralization.
The populace versus the establishment. Whatever they do to the populist candidate, they're doing to you. When you assist the establishment in crushing the populist candidate, they're going to turn around and do it to you next. Whatever rules that they broke to get at him that you cheered on because you were so anti him, those rules were broken so that they can get your consent. And now that they've used your hatred to build consent to break the rules, now they can turn that same attack towards you. And you've yayed and amened it into existence. If you previously believed that Trump was racist and then something changed your mind, I'd like to know what was that moment.
Yeah. Really, really hard, isn't it? Really, it's a hard pill to swallow. Is Trump by far being one of the best people out there? No, I got lots of problems with him. Lots of problems with him. But at least I'll base those on things that I know to be true, not the lies that are being told to me. We've seen too many of those, and you know you'll constantly be lied to. Constantly. But yet we're being told that we're supposed to believe these things because, well, that's what it's all about. Let's restart. Morning, everyone. I have coffee now. Good morning, Volstorm. Good to see you. Have you calmed down? If you relaxed, if you relaxed, if his life gotten much better now that you've warmed yourself up with that nice warm cup of coffee? Does it make you feel better? Make you feel welcome? Oh my! I've got to find this one clip because this one clip pretty much says all that you need to know about all of this, and it's a really good one. It'll put a smile on your face. It'll make you just go, oh my! Just put you in a happy place, because that's what I'm here to do, to put you in a really, really happy place. Just a second to find it, and once I find it, I think Volstorm already knows what I'm going to play. He can't help it. It's going to be good. That's all I'm going to say. It'll be good. It'll be enjoyable. It'll make you smile. Make you just see things in a whole different light. Oh, where is it? I love it so much, and I should have saved it elsewhere, which I'll probably end up saving at some point in time. At some point, I'll pull it up and keep it close to my heart, because it puts a smile on my face every single time that I see it. Like, oof. Where can it be? Where did it go? No, I'm not showing that one. It's gonna be beautiful. It'll change your ideas, or at least it'll put a smile on your face. Let me find it. Doggone it. See, this is the problem with having things, and it's, as much as I pull up this kind of stuff, it amazes me that I just can't find it so readily and easily. Well, I'm horrible at this kind of thing. Well, here, we'll start with this one. We'll start with this one. You know, this, like I said, if I have to bring receipts, I'll just let other people
Can you
speak.
imagine being told to vote for a candidate for president that's already in office and is guaranteeing to fix all of the problems that they told you didn't exist for the last 3.5 years? Kamala Harris says she's the one to fix the border, not Donald Trump, even though the numbers were lower under Donald Trump. But fix what problem? You told us for 3.5 years the border was closed and secured and safe. Now we're finding out that's not true. And they've evidently lied about the number of children that have gone missing. This is the same person that tells us they're going to fix the economy. Fix what economy? You told us the economy was booming, the best we've ever seen. You guys have created more jobs and more manufacturing than any president in history, as they now just downgraded the jobs numbers yet again. And we're being told by the CEO of Home Depot that the government needs to be honest about what the real jobs numbers look like. See, she wants to put in price controls as if we didn't learn anything from the Soviet Union to control price gouging when inflation due to printing money and spending money is what drove revenues up, which also increased profits because profit margins stayed the same. These are the same people that told you that they're going to fix crime. We were told in the last election that crime was down. It was just a right-wing talking point. Then we found out that major cities aren't mandated to report their crime data like they used to. See, these are the same people who told you Joe Biden was mentally sound and physically fit to be the next president, and they were going to do that, but they said that only long enough so that they wouldn't actually have to have a primary and have you vote, because the last time you had an opportunity to vote for Kamala Harris, you gave her less than 2% of the vote. But pick her because she's going to fix all those problems that don't exist.
Amazing, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Right. And we see it time and time again. All of a sudden, her policies became all about his policies. The same policies that he had become hers. Like she created these policies, but she didn't. She didn't create these policies. She had the opportunity to get these things under control. She refused to get these things under control and said there was nothing to see here. Absolutely nothing to see. But yet, all of a sudden, they're going, hey, there's something to see here. Look, we're doing all of this to help you. This is all for you. We're all of the things that you saw, that those aren't real. No, those aren't real at all. No. Those were because, Donald Trump caused all of this. Donald Trump is the one that did all of these things. He made it difficult for you. Oh, ye of little weak minds. You don't remember being, the governor of Tim Walz and or Senator, whatever the hell he was, locking people down in their homes. You don't remember that? That didn't happen. No. Well, you don't remember that people were locked out of going anywhere. No, that never happened. Why would that ever happen? No. These are all imaginary things. Like none of this is true. It's all because we've got the best, the smartest, the brightest up there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's shown time and time again how wrong these things are. How wrong and how much of a lie. But yet you're being told that this is true, that this is the way that it goes. That your thought, your reasoning behind all of this is because, Trump bad. All because Trump caused this. All because Trump caused this. But you want to know the truth? You want to know the truth about camel toe? You really want to know the truth about camel toe? Here you go.
But I gotta ask you about Kamala Harris. How you feel about her?
She's a piece of shit. I was in California. She lacked professional competence, and she worked on it by hiking up her hemline when she needed influence rather than researching. She's always tried to do the casting couch to get where she wants. Now, the problem is that'll get somebody to a certain level quickly, but you can't get past that level if you don't have competence and talent. So my thing about it is if I'm crude about it, in this city years ago, I used to represent a whole bunch of pimps and hoes, and I know a hoe when I see one. And I say this, I don't care, women, you do what you want to do if you want to have recreational sex, but when you do the casting couch or anything else for professional purposes to get paid or advance, you a hoe. And she's old hoe. And the problem is what is she supposed to do? Somebody, one of her sycophant slaves comes up and unwraps her in a carpet naked at Putin's feet, and he says, oh yeah, I'm Julius Caesar. He said, no, ho, I got better stuff here already. Plus, I don't want you anyway, you old woman. Get on up, you know. Or Xi Jinping, is he supposed to be impressed? She's doing word salad. Well, we're here today because China and the U.S. are here today, and that's why we have to agree on what we're doing here today. Like, fool, what did you just say? You know, did you say anything?
Bless your heart. I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Early morning, rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning, Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning, Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning, Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.